What do you make of what's going on right now with Antonio Brown?
I think $30 million is at stake right now. That's a lot of dough. And you see what you're seeing from Antonio Brown. He's backpedaling faster than Deion Sanders. I mean, this is this whole situation is really unfortunate because on a couple levels. One, for the guys in the locker room, you're trying to prepare for a divisional opponent in the Denver Broncos. You're trying to get ready for that for the Monday night game. And you have to talk about this, but you also have to talk about it from Antonio Brown's situation. What exactly is going on with Antonio Brown? Are we talking about something that's deeper than what we see on the surface? Is it something that he needs? Does he have issues that he needs help with? We don't know. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I can't speculate as far as that's concerned. But I think this apology is a big step towards Antonio Brown possibly playing on Monday Night Football. Yeah, I really do.
Keep in mind, the Raiders have not suspended him.
They have not suspended him. And if you listen to Jon Gruden, he talks glowingly about Antonio Brown. And the Raiders know they are a much better team with Antonio Brown on the field than off the field.
I don't know. Listen, I thought, earlier I thought it was intriguing to hear what you guys had to say, like, as people that have played this game, and Rob, you're freshly out of this, a couple of years removed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, if I'm in a locker room, part of me would be if I were a fellow player. I get it, talented guy, but part of me would be like, what are we doing here? Am I out of line?
Again, a productive player. I've seen productive players. If you get out there and you make plays, things are a little, sweeping under the rug.
Right, but
it's
how
okay.
much? How much? There's a line for everybody, right? It's just a different line.
Now that the money is guaranteed.
Well, now we really get.
There's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope here because say the money's guaranteed and now week 5 they're not looking so hot. He's not getting the ball and he's throwing the Gatorade cooler and yelling at Carr. They really can't do anything. They're married to him.
Yeah.
There is no divorce there.
In the world of business, you're telling me that I was on a hook for $30 million to a guy. He acts up, engaging in insubordination, disrespect, and shirking his responsibilities to this team by not showing up to meetings and things of that nature. And I have an opportunity to get off the hook of the 29 out of the $30 million, and all I got to do is suspend him for the opening game. I don't have to suspend him for games 2 through 16, 17. All I have to suspend him for is the opening night. And his salary could be voided at my discretion, and I give up that leverage. I don't understand it. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus must have pictures on somebody or something. Something's not right. I've never heard of a professional team, particularly one in the NFL, that would give up that kind of leverage. I've never heard of it, ever.
The facts suggest it was Antonio Brown who was antagonistic, and it was Antonio Brown who initiated it. It was Antonio Brown who called Mike Mayock a cracker. It was Antonio Brown who hit him with a barrage of cuss words. And it's Antonio Brown who will not be suspended for Game 1. And those two news items bring me to the breaking news item of the day, which is Tigers don't change their stripes. You can hope, you can wish, and you can expect even that the Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh will not be the Antonio Brown you get in Oakland. You can hope and wish and maybe even expect that $30 million will make somebody walk the straight and narrow. What happens when you get a self-important, entitled me guy with $30 million in his pocket is you get a monster, just like Ryan Clark told you. He's impulsive, he's emotional, and he's out for himself. This isn't a mystery. This is exactly what we should have expected, and it will happen again. This isn't the end of the Antonio Brown soap opera. You're only in the middle of it.
Like, the one thing, though, about football that's interesting when people say you can't cut that guy, yeah, you can, kind of, right? Like, this is a sport where people fall off all the time in the first week of the year not to come back. Like, this is built into the equation that for one reason or another, somebody might not be playing here anymore. Jon Gruden, however, and I get it, he has built all these things around him. He wants to find any way whatsoever to keep him. If I'm Mike Mayock, at least I can say he had to come give this apology, because it does sound like somewhere along the way they put some fear, even if temporary, into Antonio Brown to act right, at least for now. But we're going to be back here, man. There seems no way in the world that this isn't going to come back around. I will be shocked if there's not some major drama by the bye week.
Antonio Brown is what he always is. which is he's just loud and annoying and aggravating and destructive to a team. But the new twist here is that Jon Gruden looks like a dope. He looks like somebody who's a floor mat that just says welcome. And Antonio Brown, or AB, as 90% of people at this network want to call him, just walked over him and just dragged mud over Jon Gruden, who looks so weak, Tony. Of course he was going to play. This wasn't even hard. They don't have the guts, this Raider administration, to do anything to AB, but put him out there. That's all they got the guts to do.
So I see Drew Rosenhaus's fingerprints on all of this.
Of course.
I see him understanding that you got to keep Brown on the active roster for opening day to collect $15 million. And I assume he goes to Antonio Brown and he says, I don't care if you fake it, just get out there and protect your money. I give you all credit in the world for saying he was going to play. I wasn't certain of that. But I'll repeat one thing I said yesterday. I thought then, I think now, it was crazy for them to fine him. You have a volatile guy who's a narcissist, who's completely anti-authoritarian. And it's not like you don't know that, because he has put the breadcrumbs out for years and years and years. The last thing I think you do is you confront him by fining him. What I'm interested in this case, Mike, is do you think, like, how soon will something like this happen again? Or do you think he'll play the whole season there?
How soon? What? What?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.